Good morning. My name is James Fleming. I'm editor of The Book Collector, and my guest is Jon Gilbert of Adrian Harrington Ware Books, the specialist author on Ian Fleming and James Bond.
Good morning, James.
How did it all happen?
Well, like most people, I think, Bond fans, I was introduced to Fleming via the films. In my case, I went to see Moonraker with my family, 1979, in the West End, Leicester Square. It was one of the first big films I'd seen at the cinema. Seen a few Disney films as a child, you know, Bambi and the like, but Moonraker was quite something else. And I came to the books later on in my teens. I'm not sure they really were for sort of, you know, children. But as a teenager, I read the Fleming Bond books. Hugely enjoyed his style of writing. So Casino Royale, all the way through to Octopussy. And I read them as pan paperbacks, as I think many people would, with their wonderful cover art. And yeah, hugely enjoyed them. That's how I came to it.
And which was the prize, which was the best Bond book that you have bought as a dealer?
We've been in a very fortunate position to handle some wonderful material. We have had some typescripts of the Bond novels, which are excessively rare. As many people will know, most of the manuscripts are in the Lilly Library at Indiana. So typescripts, those are copies, perhaps revised or corrected copies of the manuscript, second or third drafts. Those are really rare in commerce. I have had a handwritten manuscript for one of his travel articles on the Blue Mountain Solitaire. And that was unusual because it was entirely handwritten. It was a 4-page manuscript. All the Bond novels, the manuscripts were typed. They may have hand corrections, but they were all typed by Ian. But this particular journalistic article was handwritten, so that was one of the highlights. And of course, the Blue Mountain Solitaire is a West Indian bird. Solitaire became the name of the heroine in Live and Let Die, so that was rather a nice thing. We've had some very weird and wonderful material, intriguing material. Funnily enough, it's not necessarily the books that come to mind, it's the non-book products that we've had. We were fortunate to have one of Ian's golfing jackets in our collection, and it was a rather almost garish patterned houndstooth green and cream patterned jacket, and there was a lovely, quite a large double weight black and white photograph of Ian at his tailor handling this particular cloth. And in the pocket there was the label, the Taylor Berry, and it had I.L. Fleming, March 1963. So that was a wonderful item. It's those non-books, because we deal in so many books, perhaps it's a little blasé, but you know, we deal in books all the time. So it's perhaps the advertising material, the unusual promotional items that I tend to remember.
Talking about unusual things, then this little book that you
Yes, very unusual subject.
Unusual, yes.
Very much so. It's an aspect of Bondiana that's never been covered before, and it's fascinating. I will congratulate you on it. I think it's a fantastic read, and me, you know, having a sort of a wealth of knowledge of Fleming, much of it was new to me. So many congratulations. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Can you summarize in 2 sentences what the brilliance of Ian Fleming's writing is? Because with all the films around, you know, the books can be lost sight of, but they are the heart of the matter.
I think his economy of words, that is his style. He injects pace through his economy of words, and he always wanted to produce a page-turner. These are thrilling books, and that happens through the pace of them, which is created through his economy of words. The wonderful descriptions of exotic places and products at a time when the vast majority of people weren't experiencing those, so they are truly escapist books.
This magnificent book, which is the Bible for all the Bond people, are you going to upgrade it, develop it, new edition, or perhaps even a a pocket edition, if one could imagine a pocket edition, 850 pages.
This is the revised version, which came out in 2017. It is my intention to write a second bibliography. So not a revised version of this, but a separate bibliography on the James Bond continuation authors and their books. Because as we know, there have been far more James Bond books since Ian Fleming died than Ian Fleming wrote. So that is something I am very keen to work on and have made a start, but it is a long project. As we remember, this was 5 years in the making, so such a book is going to be at least that sort of time scale.
And would you ever consider doing a pocket version?
I personally don't think that will happen because it is impractical. I mean, it is such a large book. I did put in there a handy checklist of issue points at the beginning of the book. So that is something that at least can be scanned or photographed, and collectors, dealers can carry around with them, and it's a ready checklist of issue points.
Do you know of any fresh materials coming onto the market to do with Ian Fleming?
I don't think there's much that's been missed. There are no major omissions. There are occasional articles that appear which we may not have seen before. For example, the travel book Thrilling Cities, the exciting travel book Thrilling Cities, was heavily syndicated in America, and it's quite conceivable that there will be regional publications of those articles which we've yet to come across. So it's not unpublished material, but it's existing material which may appear in an unknown or previously unknown publication.
As in the communist bloc?
Yes, exactly.
Material, which is Bulgarian and Russian.
Very well,
Polish.
very well linked there. Yes, I agree.
And that was Jon Gilbert speaking to us about his own collection of Ian Fleming and Ian Fleming's place in the market and his future plans for his bibliography. Thank you, John.